Alrighty. Welcome everyone to Sacred Voices Open Mic. How y'all feeling? Thank y'all. With everyone here, I expect everyone to be on a max. So if you were over there and you were like at an 8, add 10 to that, right? And that's what I'm gonna need y'all to set. So minimum 18 energy level. Sound good? Awesome. I'm going to do that too, and I was just with middle schoolers all day long, so they sapped the living life out of me because that's what they do, right? And so for me to pull out an 18, I know y'all could pull out an 18 because who else dealt with 27 middle schoolers today? Exactly. Y'all have a surplus of energy. That is how that works. In this order, I will call y'all up in a little bit just to let you know we got Bree, Carly, Lorenz, Carrie, Matt, and what is that? Zandia? Zandria. Your R-I looks like an N. Sorry, whoever wrote that one. But with that, that's the order of the peoples. I'm going to let y'all know. We have a couple of announcements before we get started. For one, this will be broadcasted live onto Facebook, so people will be able to see your performances today. So just, let you know that the cameras and all of that, that's what the screens are up here for. We do have some vendors in here. So we have Triple V, I was about to say Triple X Industries. I was like, that's not it at all. But the Triple V Industries, they got some dope posters, pop culture references as well, t-shirts. They have a raffle going on, so for $5, y'all could jump into the raffle and potentially get a free print. Yeah, t-shirts are on sale today for $25 if you want to do that. What are they regularly? $35, so $10 off, right? That's something that they do here. That's super dope. We also have our Plant Whisper, right? Shampoos and everything made from cactuses. Register that for a second. Digest that for a second, right? I usually only eat cactus, right? Nopales, anybody? Yes, y'all, get on your cactus game. Delicious. If you like okra, you like cactus. But never in my life have I ever seen cactus shampoo. And by the vouching of Josie over there and her family, who apparently buy this stuff all the time, and also, this is apparently pet safe, which is something you usually do not find in shampoo, something that you can use on you and your pet, right? That's natural, homemade, by the peoples right there. Look at that. Small business owner. Support her, right? Absolutely. We also have t-shirts available. These are the last t-shirts we have before we go into a new design, so please check those out as well. I have the sign-up list. If you are so inspired, please sign up. Everyone's voice in here matters, especially in this rebuilding phase that we're in. If y'all come through and you really share on this open mic, anyone else who comes through is also inspired, and that's how we start rebuilding community. That's what we need, right? So if you got a little bit of an itch inside of you, I say answer that. Right? It's like the itch to go to Hawaii. Why would you not answer the itch to go to Hawaii? I don't know, right? Maybe you have no money or something. That's an understandable thing. But guess what? This is free, right? You ain't got to pay nothing to do this. You literally put some syllables and some words on a piece of paper. You get up here, enjoy your life. That's Friday night. Easy enough, right? Cool. I think that's we have a feature today. Make some noise for Adi Tora in the back. Adi will be blessing us at the end of the night with a set. I've heard their poetry before. If y'all have not heard Adi, they are very much connected to their entire culture as a Fijian, Polynesian culture from there, queer culture as well. Also just decolonizing all of ourselves, right? And all of that through poetry, which is a skill. You don't talk about that stuff easily in academics, let alone in poetry, right? So we're going to be blessed tonight. Before I get started, can I freestyle a poem for y'all? Sounds like a plan. And then Bree, you are on deck. Yeah. Please, y'all, throughout the night, if you need bathrooms around the corner, feel free to do so. If you want to just support Sacred Voices at any point, y'all could just Venmo Sacred Voices. Trust me, we will take money for absolutely no reason, no problem whatsoever, right? We are about that life. And so this poem, let's see. Carrie, give me any word you want. Star. Adi, give me any word you want. Galactic and star. Alrighty then. This is great because I work at the Science Museum too, and the last thing I did there before working with these middle schoolers was I was teaching a camp for 4th to 6th graders called Galactic Explorers, right? Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what I'm gonna freestyle on. I'm about to get nerdy as hell. NASA recently came out with the publication on plunets. Listen to that. Can anyone here define a plunet? No. Because in our galaxy, we do not have this phenomenon. Imagine waking up one day and not seeing the moon for a whole month. It has journeyed off into its own adventure around the sun. Can you believe that in other galaxies, some planets are left bare naked for an entire season? Can you imagine our oceans completely losing the gravity from that relationship? Can you imagine all of our people not being able to tell when the sun is coming up anymore because it is just pitch black and the moon has not waned or waxed either way? Imagine everyone who at night is able to navigate themselves home by that satellite above the sky, and it is further away than we can ever imagine. A planet only happens in certain galaxies when a planet orbited by a moon is left and the moon circles the planet or the sun on its own, acting like a planet itself. This is the first time a hybrid satellite has ever been seen. Something strong enough to leave the delicate balance of that relationship, a planet and a moon, and go on its own journey. How many of us have been there in a relationship that is so tenuous, so delicate, that if you were to leave, you would slingshot into the universe and never return? But if it's just for that one star, that one passion, that one journey, you are able to leave that safety net, go and venture on your own and return home. That is what a planet is. Something that has decided that even though it is minuscule, not as big and important as a planet, not as strong and gravitational as a star, but small enough to still have its own journey, venture on its own whim and its own journey, or its own whim, its own decision, its own energy, its own vibe, and come back. When's the last time you got that close to the sun and lived? When's the last time you were alone in space and came back to your family? When's the last time you were abandoned but knew that you were going to find your family again? In our galaxy, that delicate system does not exist. This is a metaphor we cannot see in our everyday lives. You have to pop into a telescope and look all the way to another nebula. That is the beauty of this galaxy, that not everything has to be in front of you to learn a lesson from it. That sometimes you do have to just imagine celestial bodies working their own physics around a whole nother system of motion, a whole nother system of physics that we do not have. And sometimes you have to break your own perceptions, your own understanding of this world to understand how beautiful we can actually be. All right, friends, please keep that applause going. If you come up here, you got about 10 minutes, 2 poems, right? If you got 3 poems, but they're short, I'll let it go. Cool. But please make a lot of noise. Carly, you on deck. Bring up Bree Hill. Keep applauding until she keeps up here. Keep the vibe going until she gets up here.
Franklin's tall. Hello. Before I get started, I just want to say that I work for Project Voice, and we're having our annual fundraiser August 1st. From 6 to 9 at Manual High School. Tickets are $15 for adults and $5 if you have a student ID. Please come and venture with Voice and support our youth. They're gonna be having a workshop there, so if you wanna learn from youth, you should do it. I have to open up my phone because I'm weird like that. Cool. So this one is near and dear to my heart that I wrote it yesterday. So, I saw Emmett Till yesterday. Saw him in the grocery store looking for the meat Mama Till told him to bring home. I saw Emmett Till yesterday, across the street. You couldn't miss him. Wearing his Sunday best, brown skin warmed against the sun, he smiled at me. I told him that he was holy, and he thanked me. I saw Emmett Till yesterday, playing basketball on a makeshift court, his body merged with other black bodies until they became one fluid motion. I've convinced myself that this is how black boys get their wings. The court is holy heaven and the ball is every blessing that they've had. I saw Emmett Till yesterday. His brown skin reminded me of every language of love. His eyes held the softest breath. My eyes could not come to terms that in front of me could simply be a boy. So I renamed him God, the chosen one, sweet molasses and everything. Told him to pick his head up and fix his crown. Told him that black boys were created from his ribs. I saw Emmett Till yesterday, unarmed, untouched, and safe. Saw him whispering in the ears of other black boys, telling them that heaven is every inch of dirt they walk upon, that their wings are non-refundable, that their halos are priceless. I saw Emmett Till yesterday, in the belly of my little cousins when they laugh, the roundness of their cheeks and the fragility of their small hands. I saw Emmett Till yesterday, and I wished him happy birthday. Okay. Thanks. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do one last one, and it's a call and response because I'm a Baptist child, and this is what happens. So when I say, if I can change the world, y'all say, what would you do? So we're gonna practice. If I can change the world, what would you do? If I could change the world, what would you do? If I could change the world, what would you do? I would go to the bottom of the ocean, place offerings of whiskey and cassava, tend to the spirits and creatures who pick my ancestors' flesh clean. I would tell them that they are the guardians of those lost, forgotten, but cherished so deeply. I would go to the depths of hell. I mean the White House. I mean these institutions. Scrape the tongues of demons of their words of minority. Nigger, faggot, boy, they do not have the luxury of naming me anymore. If I could change the world, what would you do? If I could change the world, there we go. I'd break down anything that looks like a wall. I want to see the possibility that makes these white people fear. I want to make this country tremble with humility. I want to see the possibility that can be beautifully brown, beautifully indigenous, beautifully multicultural, multilingual, and multitextual. And to be honest, what the fuck do walls do for us anyway? I'd break down the binary, begin to unlabel bodies as I watch them shed their skins of heteronormativity. It'd be like the end of The Wiz where everyone comes out of their skin dressed in beautifully golden yellow singing, "It's a brand new day, free at last from the wicked witch bitch, the United States power." I'd break myself into pieces, for I know that is my admissions into the protests, the showing, the viewing, and the funeral of white supremacy. If I could change the world, I'd take all the little black children, take them to the water, tell them that I love them, tell them I miss my dad too. I tell them that our mothers, our grandmothers, and our women are our saviors and providers, and we should thank them more. I would begin to drown them when they ask for liberation, for the water is freedom. This is their baptismal. Sinners no more from this world's cruel hands. I have created angels of revolutionary love, and you're welcome. Their halos are made of the coils and curls of the 4C texture, and you cannot touch it. I would begin to rub sweet golden honey on their melanated skin, leave no space smooth, and you also can't touch that. I would remind them that they cannot swim. I would remind them that their sweetness is bulletproof. I would take all the little black boys, hold them close to me, remind myself that the world knows nothing on how to love a black boy, so I'll do it for them. I'll take all the little black girls, stick them back underneath my ribs, explain that their fastness is a lie and that their body pledge allegiance to no one but their own. And you cannot touch these children, and you cannot touch these children. And if you try and touch these children, you will be missing more than a tongue. I would keep them safe with me, and our revolutionary love built heaven, and you're not welcome. But if I could change the world, what would you do? But if I could change the world, what would you do? Nah, I want to hear from y'all. I want to know what you do. I want to know how you change it. For who, for what, for how, and for why. Am I safe in your world? Am I protected? Am I drowning? What offerings would you give to me? A halo, some honey, whiskey of my choice? Am I alive in your world, or am I in the ocean? What does change look like for you?
Thank you. I love that line. This is the reason I love this line so much. She said, if you come for the children, you're going to lose more than a tongue. And that one over there started chuckling. She's like, right? Y'all let him know. Do y'all know Lady's speech from the community? Gonna get a little vulgar. Y'all are all adults or teenagers, and the teenagers don't act like y'all don't cuss. She literally said, give a damn who you piss off anymore. Like literally, give a damn who you piss off anymore. We're living in a state of time where if people coming for your children, you can cut them. Give a damn who you piss off anymore, right? If they coming for your partner, you can cut them, right? And if they bleed, be like, haha, you're human too? Oh, right? And remind them, you ain't that strong, right? Our community's much stronger, though. So facts, right? You let them know. So thank you for that, Bree. All right. Lorenz, you are on deck, but coming up, make some noise for Carly. Keep it clapping. There you go.
By the way, it's Charlie, fool. Alright. So I'm gonna just do 2 poems real quick. One of them's an old one that I did like a couple months back. It helped me win one of this things you call like a slam poetry contest. So let's see how it goes. On the last episode of Being Brown in America, our devilishly charming hero had an online confrontation with a not so pleasant gang of trolls who were adamant about the support for a headhunting expedition of another human being on the grounds of him/them being brown and for assaulting a white teenager simply because he took away that said teenager's unfashionable stark red Trump hat. We decided to provide a brief recap of what went down that fateful evening as an attempt to help with the fluidity of this recap. Well, that's not supposed to be read. Anyway, let's get this on. You're a trash Hispanic, let's be honest. I mean, I might be, since soy Chicanx when it comes to government forms, remembering my jefa always telling me that it is white, mijo, as if all the other options are restricted and meant only for people who are special. Closed captions for this nation's racial undertone as colored slave bodies continue to break and moan, paying off this ancient debt to a crimson loan forcibly inherited since genetically, this society has a white priority when it comes to representing the minority. America, I want to see you to go to any Latin American country and be able to compete with your people. There's a reason you're in the US. Ni de aquí ni de allá. My voice is treated as an exotic specimen by white eyes simply because I can roll my R's. Don't even get me started how much of an uncultured savage I feel when it comes to proper etiquette and manners. Seen as a gringo by brown faces, how can I compete when in both races I already have my laces welded together with every step I take? It'll either be too white or too brown of a move, bumping against my own glass ceiling as these hooked chains keep digging into my Aztec huesos. Qué tristeza, que nunca vas a ver cómo hablar el español. My family said those same exact words the moment I was born. Because my fair white gringo skin was not like that rich, deep, dark brown hues everyone else had. You don't look Mexican. Always needing to prove my Mexicanidad because according to 9 out of 8 random strangers, I look like I'm from Argentina. Que soy cubano, que soy puertorriqueño, even Eastern European, but never Mexican. Also, you want examples of KKK countries? Look no further than Latin America, where white Mexicans are worshipped as superiors and Native Americans are frowned upon. But why? Where did this concept come from where white is bright and you can see little brown kids wanting to play cowboy but not the Native American? Excuse me, what you call an Indian. Where skin bleaching creams are a literal thing, where native tongues are looked down on, but turquoise jewelry is still a commercial turn on. Why the US, of course, importing all these great talents and abilities, even if it means uprooting and robbing sovereign nations because industries have no patience when it comes to consumer diligence and learning the ripple effects of living in a first world nation as people across a simple barbed wire fence are busy trying to ration their livelihoods as they stand at attention when green-clad brutes terrorize and try to patronize. Ignorant piece of trash. Siempre se aprende. Prefiero ser un estudiante para expandir mis conocimientos del mundo que ser un bruto gritando que sé más que otros como si fuera un tal concurso. That's the end of the first one. Woo. That light is bright. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we'll go with this one. I wrote this one like at the start of this month because a lot of things happened at the start of this month, and a lot of things happened that were like televised on the news. If y'all want to know what happened, just Google like the Geo facility protests or whatever. For the record, I was not there. Anyway, growing up, I was told to stand at attention, raise my hand across my heart, pledge allegiance to a red, white, and blue star-spangled flag, porque I was always taught to be eternally grateful for this nation, be eternally grateful for those who died for its creation, be eternally grateful that we live in a country with a proud, blind vindication, head held high as we shine with a brilliantly bright, belligerent determination. Over the years, my curiosity got the better of me as I started to notice between the stars and the stripes were these small pinprick cracks, pocket-marked bullet holes souls as I took a look and saw the hidden untold truth. Concentration camps and jail cells filled with black and brown youths, laid out unceremoniously on clothed cement floors, caked in dried up salty tears, blood drained from their bodies to try to repaint those same red stripes without filling in the bullet wounds. Red traces of capitalismo's racist faces that leer and see us as just numbers on their profit margins, chipping away at this illusion where this land is your land, this land is my land, from the New York Island to the Rocky Mountains, from the Sierra Madre to the Gulf Stream waters. I can see this land is not meant for you and me. If the me in question doesn't have the same 9-digit serial code, if the me in question no habla el inglés perfectamente, if the me in question doesn't fit into the binary, if the me in question doesn't praise your tainted holy trinity, greed, fear-mongering, and a religious zeal to assimilate everything that you call ethnic, if the me in question isn't willing to be white.
Mothers or fathers who abandon their sons.
Thank you so much for that piece. I identify with that piece a lot, right? I think a lot of us who have like 2 cultures or more in our household and also live here in the United States identify with that a lot, to where like I legitimately, no lie y'all, did not know who Michael Jackson was until I was 13, because no one outside of my house know who Cantinflas was or La India Maria was, right? So we had all of these cultural norms in my house that when we walked out, like prevented me from being seen as a true American. But then I would walk into my house and then I have all these other references that my family doesn't recognize, and then that prevents me from being a true Mexican, right? And then you're just stuck in this like halfway zone where you're like, great, you know, I can't get close to anyone within any culture because if I identify with the other half of my culture, that alienates me from that side. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. So thank you for that one. I reflected with that one a lot. All right, friends, on deck, we got Carrie Joy, but coming up, make some noise for Lorenz Smith.
The bottle that he'd sent back onto the shelves of a liquor store, he'd walk out of.
Hi. All right. So I wrote this like 5 minutes ago. All right. After years of studying their history books, I realized I am missing my own roots. And now, like Tupac, I'm feeding the juice. And now, like Tupac, I'm feeding the juice. I want to learn about pre-slavery, about the pyramids, hieroglyphs, and put my knowledge to use. Put cultural order on my walls and learn languages I can scream to the roof. Nas said that there was proof that I could be what I want to be, that we was kings and kings before slavery, but all my lessons can only date back to is slavery. And what's missing from my history books, what the media puts in my head definitely doesn't make up for it. Painting mankind as thugs with guns, the black man gotta run or be conquered. Because the system is just a system, sentencing the black and brown boy before he can even read. Listen, I respect my Black History Month, my Martin Luther Kings and Ruby Bridges, but there's more that I fiend. To the public school system, I want to remember a time before me, a time before slavery.
My angel would be able to fly.
You just wrote that? Well done. Well done. That's critical, y'all. Use intelligent, right? Keep in mind, okay, so just random question. Of the people here who have ancestry outside of the US, right? Who here knows the native language of that ancestry? Cool. Who here speaks any bit of that? Right? So keep in mind, for me, I don't even count Spanish as my native ancestry language because the Spanish are still colonizers. They're just the colonizers to the south, right? And so my people spoke Nahuatl. I don't speak any fluent Nahuatl, right? I know some names. I know a couple of words like aguacat. That's literally aguacate, which is avocado in Spanish, right? Tomat, literally tomate in Spanish, right? So there's all these words that translate over from Nahuatl, and the only reason I know them is because I know the Spanish one, and then from there we connected back. It is your duty as an ascendant from those people to keep that alive, right? It is your duty to know the name of the tribe. My people are Raramuri, right? It is your duty to know where they come from, Northern Chihuahua, right? And it is your duty to know the history of how they got erased, because no one else is keeping that, right? If it's not you, it's not anybody else. This is why our education system does not teach about Africans before slavery, right? They don't teach about the Zulu tribe. They don't teach about Egyptians. They don't teach about the other countless countries in Africa, right? Same thing for Polynesia, same thing for Asia, same thing for Mesoamerica, right? They delineate a lot of information so it can be so they can miseducate the public, right? They give you only so much because truly they do not want you empowered. An empowered individual has social mobility. If you break the status of social mobility as it is now, you're going to displace a lot of people who are in power. That's what they do not want, right? You need to keep this alive for the generation. How many of you know the process of 7 generations back, 7 generations forward, right? Yeah, if you do not, that's a practice from the indigenous people here and probably others. I only know it from the indigenous people here, right? But thinking you're doing everything and you should remember at least 7 generations back, and you're doing everything and you're working for the 7 generations ahead of you. Keep in mind, 1 generation's about 40 years. So if you're not thinking about 280 years back at least, you are not thinking far back enough. And if you're not thinking at least 280 years forward, you're not thinking forward enough, right? That is one of the things our generation should definitely fix. We think about 1 generation usually, right? We think about our parents, right? Maybe your grandparents, depending on your relationship with them, right? How many of you think about your great-great-great-great-great-grandparents on a regular basis? They still count within that 7-generation framework, right? So start working towards that. Reason we got sacred voices is because literally we live in a country right now where I know it doesn't feel like everyone is paying attention and not listening to the voice, but regardless, you can go outside and say whatever you want, right, and not get shot, right? For the most part. There's stipulations to all of that. But you can literally not do that in other countries, right? And it is our purpose to use these sacred voices in all of their power, right? Y'all saw Puerto Rico? Who knows what just happened in Puerto Rico? Literally a whole country who was just like, this is our voice, shut up, listen. 2 weeks of straight protests. They kicked out their governor, right? That's power. That's a sacred voice. That's people who understand their history, how to utilize it, and how to mobilize with it, right? That's something, no lie, I feel we lack here in the United States a bunch, right? Thank you for bringing that up. See, all you. I didn't think about that, you did. I just reiterated that. All right, y'all, on deck, we got Matt coming up next. Make some noise for Carrie.
I was ready. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Good. So listen, I am a proud descendant of the Tainos and the Arawaks in Jamaica. My family came here in 1988 to Brooklyn, New York, and I try to hold on to everything that I know about my history. And so a little bit of what I'm about to talk to you right now comes from that. And we just actually watched the new Lion King. Shout out. And so I've been feeling really inspired, right? You know, remember who you are, Simba, right? So I hope that this will encourage you to remember who you are. Here we go. We speak to the stones, and they listen. We call the earth with fire to provide the most delicate incense and the strongest protection. One smudge, and you're hooked. One conversation with the earth, and your ancestors come knocking, quenching your memories with scents that tell you that you're home. The stories whisper past us like a cool embrace, like our children reminding us of our great-grandmothers, the ones that taught us to speak to the stones and to follow the birds and to fight for what is sacred and what is sure. We have built other people's empires, bearing witness to our histories being auctioned, histories bought in blood, stories paid for with the human sacrifice of those that remembered their deity. Packaged in cocoa and caramel, sweet like a Jamaican rump cake and spiced horchata, rich in freedom, drenched in melanin, heavy on that secret sauce. Oh yeah, we got the juice. That's what we made under the pressure. That's how you emerge from the greed and the dishonor, making lemonade, sweet tea, sorrel, and ponche, forgetting in those moments that we were the descendants of slaves who spoke to the stones and called on Jesus, using methods that awakened the earth's tribal arrangements, catching the Holy Ghost dancing like David, the beats sounding the call from the voice of the ancient. Meet me at the crossroads, let's get in formation. A change is gonna come, but only if you keep your head up and follow the stars. Listen to the universe. It will remind you of who you are and of what you deserve, and that respect that might be earned, but freedom that's taken. It is the holy tongue, our first communion. It is death and life. It is the secret that built the Tower of Babel and the wonders of the world. Sacred temples, miraculous births of leaders and warriors return to accomplish the mission, to carry the torch, to fight the power. Prayer warriors and prophets, healers and seers, rebels, brujas and airbenders, gods walking freely upon the earth, creating the heaven that we yearn for, that we waste on our tomorrows, that we only visit in our dreams, while the soil is begging for us to come home. We are the prodigal sons and daughters, the earth our mother, crying as we forsake her, haunted by the souls that are indeed praying for us to remember, praying for our awakening, for our chains to stop changing forms, for our flesh to finally find mercy in a world that has used these bodies to build an empire where no colors are allowed, where my two spirits cause me to see visions that they have rebranded as cultural enrichment, glorified for my body but denied for my truth. My life is not your classroom, my body not yours to use, my mind not yours to tame, and the stories of my ancestors, murdered, stolen, and raped, their brilliance locked away, their dreams deferred, yet still we emerge warriors, rulers, goddesses, and high priests, taught to speak to the stones, and they listen. Thank you.
Sorry. Cool. It's just a little hot, you know, just like you can't put your lips close to that. They're too sensitive, it'll burn. Cool. All right. There we go. Well, you know, on that simple note, I am going to take a quick break to just talk to our vendors real quick, right? Because they're here, and a lot of the times, especially with vendors, we tend to see their product, and then they talk to us, but they never really get to talk about like where they really come from or an in-depth process about like how they make their stuff. So I'm going to give a quick second to our plant whisperer over here so she could talk about her shampoos.
Good evening, everyone. Hi there, everybody. That's how I really talk. My name is Monique Walker. I want to give a big shout out to Josie for inviting me. I created, my product has gone under different names, but right now, and this is permanent, I am the Plant Whisperer. I will give you a quick background as to why I created my products. When I was 2.5 years old, my ear was blow dried by a very evil person, and my ear was the size of a plate and white as snow and melted all the way down. It was a 3rd-degree burn, and I should have been deaf, but I didn't go deaf. But I was hospitalized. My mother, she applied aloe vera, cocoa butter, and vitamin E faithfully on my ear. And at the age of 3 or 4, we had an aloe vera plant, and it was speaking to me. So this is where I started kind of developing that. And I know I'm kind of talking a lot. Yeah, so so when I was 4, I was already in tune with the aloe vera plant because I knew that this plant really saved my sanity. As I grew older, my ear, like the cartilage and everything, started to heal because I was very consistent with applying. Quick background about me: when I was 3 years old, I taught myself how to braid hair. I know it sounds crazy, but I did. I found a healthy outlet, and that's how I got into hair. And my mother was also a model, so I really learned a lot about the beauty industry. As time went on, I obviously became an adult, and my background is in sales, marketing, business development. But as we all do, I hit a crossroads. I hit some shaky times in my life, and I was very unhealthy internally and externally. And so I went to an acupuncturist when I used to live in Houston, and she taught me different herbs and things like that would keep you and sustain you. And I started a tea business. As far as the pet piece of my business. I've always been very connected. I'm kind of jumping around because there's a really big story here. But I love pets. I love animals. I could never have an animal. We lived in an apartment. So as I got older, I was able to have a cat. As an adult, I really wanted to give back to animals because my ear looked like an elephant, and it did when it was melted down. So I always had that connection. Long story short, I moved back to Colorado after my grandpa was really sick, and so then I started creating some aloe. I didn't infuse the cactus, but I had a formula, and I feel that plants talk to me. I am a dreamer. Some people say, call me whatever you want to, but I do have a sixth sense, and I think we all do, but it's blocked off by religion and fear. Fear is the root. So with all of that knowledge that I had, and also jumping around again, but when I went to college, I went to a Christian college. I'm not a Christian, I'm not religious, but I was forced to go during that time. And I really had a passion to want to help people. I don't know where it came from, and just to help life. That passion developed as a child. I used to have dreams about like people that were murdered and animals that were killed, and in these really weird ways. It was like a story. So, and I won't get into details, but I knew I had a gift. So I was dreaming about maybe deceased animals and deceased people, but I didn't understand that. So one night I had a dream. It wasn't really a dream. It was like a vision or something crazy, but I swear I woke up and I saw like this really big, it looked like a wing, like an angel wing. Angels, I know. Whatever you want to call them, look like a bird's wing. And I love birds, by the way. I have a bag of bird food in my car. But anyway, I really do. I communicate with birds. We'll get into that next go around. But in the vision, I saw this wing. It was flooded with blood and electricity, and it was weird because I reached my hand out, and I swear I heard this voice that said, "You have healing hands." And this bolt of lightning, like, because the wing was flooded with like electrical currents, but it struck my hand, and it said, "You have healing hands." So that's just the truth. But I wasn't doing anything with that. I lived my life. I went through ups and downs. And like I said, I hit a hard point just a few years ago. I had the opportunity with the product that I made to rescue a pigeon who was almost eaten by a hawk. And I used the product on the pigeon's back. Its legs were broken. And I know many different bird calls. So I was singing to it. And long story short, the veterinarian said, "Hey, this bird's fine," and it flew away. Another special thing that happened, my uncle had a 3rd-degree burn. It covered his entire arm. It was like red and white. And he applied my product faithfully. It's not the shampoo, it's a cactus elixir, like a cactus oil. And I have other herbs infused. But anyway, you can't even tell he was ever burned. Okay, so the American Burn Association said, "You have a very special product." Now, my product is a 10-in-1. It not only helps like the cactus elixir, it has different names. It helps with burns, hot spots. Like let's say your pet has a dry nose. It helps with hair breakage. It helps with moles. It helps with like bumps, everything. And I use these products on myself, and it is my gift to give that back to animals because they don't have premium products. And animals are covered in hair, and as humans, we are so disconnected with how to really properly care for our animal. If we get dandruff, what do they have? We probably pass out. If they are incurring itching and they're rolling around and you're wondering why they're jumping all over, because they're itching. And so I really want to raise the awareness to help take care of animals in a better capacity. I'm not a vegetarian, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I am, but I don't enjoy always just stuffing meat down my throat either. But I do just want to raise awareness. So that is a little bit about my background. The reason plant whispering came up is because the aloe vera plant whispered to me that the cactus is its cousin, and I need to be using both of those products. I also have some background and roots. My family, I do have family in Mexico. My great-great-grandpa was from Mexico. And so my African, I have another vision in terms of really what history is all about. I feel that Black people, Africans, have already been over in the Americas, and there's really one race, that's the human race, but there's different cultural aspects and variations. But I just want to be clear about that. We've been traveling all over the world as a nation. So as people, and we're all one. We are one, and that's one thing I want to extend, that we are one on this planet. We're one with Mother Earth, and we are one being. So that's really what I wanted to share, so you guys know who I am. And woof woof, paws are us.
You see why we let the vendors talk? I would have not known that. You done healed third-degree burns? Y'all, have you ever seen a third-degree burn? They're not cute, all right? Let me just put that out there, and to heal them back to the point that you can't even tell, that's some powerful stuff right there. Keep in mind, I'm really, really glad that the Burn Association is talking to you, because this is the stuff that the medical people are using. They just won't tell you that they're sourcing it directly from here. They're just going to give the compound that gives that, the power that it does, a special name, sell it to you, but it's still that. It's just that. You literally send pharmaceutical engineers and biochemists out into the forest where indigenous people are so they can find what plants they're using to bring them back over here. That's the process, y'all. Every single medicine you have ever had is derived from a plant of some sort, right? And half that stuff comes from information that indigenous people from all over the world have had for millennia, right? And so thank you so much for doing the work. Thank you for making it accessible to people. Support Black femmes in business, y'all. Make sure she don't go out of business, right? If I see any one of you with a Bath & Body Works bag, I'm going to tackle you in the street. I will full spear, sprint, and tackle you and be like, Monique's over there. What are y'all doing, right? Thank you so much. All right. Zandria, did I say your name correctly? Cool. You're on deck. Matt, you ready? Make some noise for Matt, everybody.
I got a loop. Keep it going for your host, Franklin, tonight, guys. Am I here? Oh, there I am, coming out of that box over there. Whew. How about a round of applause for complete terror about being on stage? Woo! Jumping off a cliff. Thank you ahead of time for supporting me while I gain this experience and just have playtime in front of you. I have no idea what's about to happen. Sacred voices. I'm on stage and I'm really scared. Sacred voices. I hear some people laughing, that's a good sign. Laughing, having a good time. Dance it out, y'all. Dance it out, dance it out. Dance your heart out. Boom. And for my next piece. Thank you. All right, I will ask from the crowd, one color and one food. Purple fries. Here we go. This one's called purple fries. All right, that wasn't it. All right, this is called purple fries. Here we go. Purple fries. Purple French fries. Purple French fries. So the other day, I went into McDonald's. I went up to the counter and I was like, oh, I want some French fries. They were like, that's cool, but I gotta tell you one thing. We only have purple French fries today, so let's sing. Purple French fries. Purple French fries. I don't know why they're purple, but they're French fries. Purple French fries. Purple French fries. They taste so damn good, they made me wanna cry. Purple French fries, 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 purple French fries. Why the hell are they purple? I don't know. Why the hell are they purple? Who knows? But I'll keep singing in the world. C'est pas, c'est fait que de bon, c'est pas, c'est fait que de bon, pas, chapi, pom, pa, na, 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 chimoma, fingo, no, mana, fomona, fimoma, pom, forget about the casa, sa, pom, pa, chapi, pom, sa, mi, mo, mo, mon, ma, chom, pom, 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 ni, no, 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 no. Purple French fries, purple French fries, purple French fries, purple French fries. Now that I've had the purple, I never wanna go back. Now that I've had a purple, I never wanna go back. Fade it out today, fade it out today. With my voice I play. We fade it out today. We fade it out today. Purple French fries. Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Y'all, that was a bop. I was bouncing in the back hard. Me and Bree were in the back just getting it. Yo, I legit want that song now. Purple French fries. I legit want that song. Mic check. There it goes. So, just to let you know again, this is being broadcast live on Facebook. So I will be going back and screenshotting that entire or screen recording that entire song. Youth, if y'all want, Sacred Voices is going to do workshops, right, for writers. That includes playwrights, fiction writers, poets, rappers, memoirists, essay writers, reviewists, whatever you want, right? If you use words, you can learn from Sacred Voices, because all we do is we cover how to use imagery, how to use your voice, literal performance, right? How to get up on stage and do what you just did, because no lie, I have not seen a lot of youth get up here and put power behind their voice, right? I have seen a lot of writers, and they get up here, and then they start talking, and you're like, right? And it's just like, then you actually read what they say, and it's beautiful, and you're like, why wouldn't you say this out loud? And they're like, because I didn't think it was good. It's like, what? Under what circumstances, right? So come over here. We will create the circumstances so you can see how beautiful you are, right? That's all you need. Cool. All right. Jocelyn, you are on deck. Deborah, you coming up. Make some noise for Deborah. Keep it coming till they get up here. Keep applauding. There they
when you
go.
left me, but the flies circled our table like vultures. They sounded what I was too afraid of.
My name is Deborah Derajay Sige. No, that is not a jihadist war cry. That is just my name. Sir, please, you don't need to call ICE. We're good. We're fine. Just to preface something, this is a stand-up comedy set, but I do have aspirations for poetry sometimes, okay? So I brought a book to read some of my greatest works, okay? Sometimes I think I should take time off of being queer because I'm not getting the hours I deserve. Because dating is like a roller coaster. You just have to deal with the constant curves. Oh my God, I love Boulder, you guys. Yeah, I really do. No, I don't. I hate it. It's a cesspool. Ooh, let's see. So, recently, I'm living, right? I'm living a life, right? As most people do, they live. I'm in a home. My roommate is right over there. I love her. She is my child, my baby, my friend, my pal. But one night, I was alone in my room, doing what people do, scrolling on Tumblr and crying themselves to sleep. And I noticed just a rhythmic every 5 minutes. And there's mental illness runs in my family, and I was just like, Lord, not today. I know that it hits right now. It's supposed to hit soon, but not right now. Anything but right now. And so I'm looking, because I live in the basement, and so I'm looking at the window, and I see this feral creature in the window. And I'm like, dear God, is that a rat? I live in the basement. That cannot be a rat. And then I walk a little closer and I'm like, dear God, is that a slight opening I see in that window? God, I'm too young and independent for any of this. Bank of America told me that my account was under 25. Can I catch a break, So I understandably at this point freak out. I run upstairs. I bang on Anne's door. I'm like, Anne! Anne opens the door. But like this, because she's small. That's so mean, Bree. Yes, I am. She opens the door. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, we have a situation downstairs. A big, bad situation. We need to go downstairs right now. It's imperative that we go downstairs right now. And so I'm rushing downstairs. She's skipping because, she's got the whole world ahead of her. Promise. So much promise. And so I can't wait to rip that out of her eyes when I show her this rat. And so we basically, I show her the rat. I'm like, you see the issue, right? You see what's going on. And she's like, oh my God, that's so cute. What do you mean it's so cute, Anne? What's going on? Like, what's going on with the eyes here? She's like, you're the one that doesn't have their glasses on. It's like, what you mean? You know what? I'm gonna put on my glasses. I put on my glasses, and it's not a rat. It's a baby bunny rabbit. Just hopping, scampering ahead, trying to claw its way out of the gutter, but not able to do so. And so we both, in collective feminine, I don't know, angst, it's like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Oh my gosh. You know, maybe we should get like our roommate Thaddeus to like pick it up, or maybe Derek can do that. It's like, yeah, we should do that. And you know, we do that for like a week. Nothing happens because we don't tell any of the roommates. And so every night there would be thunderstorms every night. And I could hear that little bunny just. And, you know, with that knowledge that I could help the bunny, I still decide to do nothing. And then I realized after a while, the bunny stopped. I don't know what happened to the bunny. And a while later, I had realized we had done nothing to stop it. And so, I recognized in that moment that that is probably what white privilege feels like. I'm here sometimes. Thank you for letting me present my work.
Still processing. Give me a second. That was a story. Whoa. Good job. Y'all, it's very hard to like actually stun me. I am stunned. I am stunned by that. Alrighty then. Woo, I don't even got anything to segue with. Jocelyn, you're next. Irina, you're on deck. Make some noise for Jocelyn. Here she is.
We are the human beings, the callers of name.
All right. Hello, everybody. Oh, thank you. I'm going to do a piece that I wrote like a while ago, and it's called Sister, I'm Sorry, and it's a tribute to Sandra Bland. All right. Sister, I'm sorry, I wasn't there for you. I didn't stand with you. Now you're gone too soon. Gone too soon, gone too soon. Gone too soon, gone too soon. Now you're gone. Gone too soon. Evils, injustice, and peril surrounds us. When hatred rears its ugly head, it always tries to drown us. But you stood up, and fought until the end. And now your blood cries from the earth. Your soul it will avenge, but now you're gone. Gone too soon, gone too soon, gone too soon, gone too soon, gone too soon. Now you're gone, gone too soon. I know exactly how it feels to be treated unjustly, hurt and abused while in police custody. But the difference from me and Sandra is I live to tell my story. Her cell phone videos restore hope for me that one day the current justice system, which only protects hatred, selfishness, and greed, will be severely impacted as we continue to plant seeds of truth that will expose every wrong, holding officers accountable for all the blood that they have shed. See, because those 57,375 counted would be alive instead of dead. But now they're gone. Gone too soon, gone too soon, gone too soon, gone too soon, gone too soon. Now you're gone, gone too soon. Rest in peace, Sandra Bland.
Thank you for that. I'm perfectly okay with going from a comedy set to that. I think that our world is full of duality like that all the time, right? Like in our family, we have a 1-year-old little girl right now, and she's the cutest little thing ever. She constantly makes us laugh. I cannot look at her without thinking about like the children who die all the time, right? Like especially the undocumented children with all the stupidity going on right now. If you have poems for people who have died, like unfortunately, Sandra Bland's death was now a couple of years ago, right? It is never too late to honor the dead, y'all. It is never, ever too late, right? You can honor Trayvon, right? You can honor Emmett Till still. You can honor Mike Brown. You can honor anyone. You can honor anyone at any point because those deaths were needless, right? And so by giving them constant honoring, you say, hey, I know that was not necessary. Right, and at least that's the least you could do for all those spirits, right? 50,000 was that's the figure in her song. We got a lot of work to do. You could say praise every day, right? Every day. My favorite thing to do, y'all, or one of the things that I do, literally just say, today I honor all those who are dead and I do not know their names, right? Because you don't have to know their names, right? It is better if you do know their names because then it's more directed, but at least a blanket statement for everybody out there who died needlessly. Every day you can say that, and every day you will be honoring them, and their spirits will feel that, right? Thank you, Jocelyn, for that one. Shout outs to Jocelyn. All right, we got one more, and then I'm going to let our last vendors say something before we bring up our feature. Sound like a plan? All right, y'all. Make some noise for the last performer today. Bring up Irina.
It's too late already, but I'm begging.
I'm a little too short for this. All right. My name is Irina Muzu. Deborah's gonna be mad at me when she hears this poem. I wrote this for an erotic poetry open mic thing, but I ended up performing it at a sexual assault awareness thing. So trigger warning, awareness of like sexual elements, some bad words. All right. Would you believe if I told you that 6 years ago a boy decided my body was his property and I smelled because anger wasn't allowed? Would you still believe me? Would you still touch me like you do? Would you believe this woman begging you to do as you please is holding the delicacy of her soul just for you? If I told you I'm working through my shame in our bed, would you still hold me? When I ask you to keep pushing to make me feel out of control, would you believe I am reaching for myself, lost somewhere in little girldom? Womanhood is trying to tell that little girl who let people touch her that she has a power to still let people touch her if she wants to. Womanhood is telling that little girl that slut isn't a bad word. She should not be ashamed of herself when someone wrote it on a sticky note and put it on her forehead and from the whole cafeteria. No, that grown man shouldn't have tried to fuck her, but that doesn't mean she can't now control what fuck means. When I allow you to enter into my space that was invaded so many times before, know you're entering into a rainforest. Something both in danger as well as fearsome. Something that can protect itself but loves the wildlife. I love you when you walk through me with that delicate rage. I know I am safe. I love you when you shake and we are two storms colliding, unable to get past each other. I'm happy I'm with the storm that doesn't overtake me.
Thank y'all. Thank you, Irene. Again, y'all, I have no problem with you coming up here and like getting free, especially. It is something like, let's be real, that's not new. This is literally one of the biggest problems in our everyday lives right now. If we are not going to talk about it here at a place called Sacred Voices, damn well no one's going to talk about it out there in a way that is meaningful, healing, and responsive to the people who have been affected, right? So we need to be able to have these conversations because I'm so tired of having this conversation. I really am. I'm so tired of people having to come up here and be like, oh yeah, me too, and me too, and me too, and me too, and me too. And you're like, nope, that's too many. That's too many back in a row, right? And so by talking about this, y'all, we need to start addressing the simple things about like how we perceive people's bodies, how we perceive affection, how we perceive consent, right? One of the biggest things that I always have to teach, especially teenagers, is just because you're in a relationship doesn't imply consent, right? Like literally your partner who you are in a relationship with can say no and you have to stop, right? Married people can do the same thing, right? If you are in a marriage, cool. You chose that person to be there. If you say no that night, they have to stop that night, right? And this is stuff that is for some reason not available to the general public. Like that concept is something I have to keep reminding people about. I'm like, really? Like, I'm pretty sure that if someone says no from kindergarten, we've always been taught that no means no. It's like, it's the easiest concept ever. And I'm having to remind adult people about this, right? So thank you for bringing that concept or that conversation up. It is a conversation we do need to have, right? However uncomfortable it is, because guess what? You know what's more uncomfortable? Having countless people being assaulted for no reason. I'd rather have an uncomfortable conversation than an uncomfortable culture. Easy enough, right? All right, y'all. I'm gonna let our last vendor come up before we bring up our feature for tonight. So Triple V Industries, if y'all wanna come talk about what y'all do, please let us know. Make some noise.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Adrian. I just want to first of all thank all the performers. You guys are amazing, bringing up a lot of really deep conversations and things that I just appreciate being able to hear, and I'm glad I was able to make it tonight. I also want to thank Sacred Voices for inviting me back. I was glad I was able to come and speak with everybody, and I just want to continue supporting, and I hope you guys all come out next time and just share your voices. So just a little bit about myself. I'm the owner of Triple V Industries. The name stands for Vini Vidi Vici, which is something that's always stuck with me since I was young. It just means I came, I saw, I conquered. And it's just something that I believe that, we all have the power to, if we see something we want and we put our minds to it, we can go achieve it and get it. So it's kind of a little bit about the message. When I was young, I got into a lot of trouble, and so that's kind of like, I put myself in a position when I was about 14 where I really felt kind of lost, and like I didn't really have too much of a future just because of the choices I was making got me in a lot of trouble. And so I realized that if I didn't think somebody else was going to allow me to, be successful, I needed to make that for myself. So that's what got me to, open my own business. I was always into art and stuff, so that's a lot of what my business is about. Graphic design. I do web design. I do graphic design, I do clothing is where it all started. So a big part of what I want to do is just build a platform like this to where I can support other artists and empower other people who have ideas like that to start their own business and just do something they love and be successful and make money doing it. So I appreciate all you guys coming out here. If anybody ever needs any kind of graphic design, logos, anything to help you build your brand and make yourself more official, contact me. Working with Sacred Voices and stuff, just let me know, and I'm happy to help you guys as much as I can. So thank you guys again, and come check out the booth if you get a chance. Thank you. And also, just a follow for everybody here. Everybody, if you guys have social media, let me know. Follow and a like goes a long way. So I'm always down to support others, and I appreciate your guys' support.
So if you can't support financially any of the organizations, like, I understand, people is people, right? You got to live. Least we can do, y'all, is follow people on social media. It has come to a point, right, where if you have 100 people following you and you show someone, they're like, okay, that's cool. If you have 1,000 people following you, people are like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. If you have 10,000 people following you, people are like, oh, wow, you must be doing something right? Because then people are backing your brand. People are backing what you do. So please follow them. What is yours again? Remember Me Hair if you want to support her, right? Sacred Voices if you'd like to support us, right? Again, share. Because even if you can't, if you share and talk about it, other people who can might come, and then they will buy stuff from these people. So inadvertently, you will be supporting them, right? So this is the process nowadays. If we're going to have these systems built up, cool, let's utilize them to our advantage, right? All right, then, friends. All right, I'm going to read this bio, and then we're going to bring up Andi. So Andi Tora hails from the Ba province of Viti Levu, Fiji, in the village of Tavua, and was raised in Denver, Colorado. Their art honors the dialogue forum of Talanoa, encircle without concealment, and community to imagine a future beyond. Andi weaves together their upbringing in the States and their culture of the islands by rediscovering and recoding indigenous Fijian symbols, text, myth, and otherwise, and allows them to exist in a diasporic. Wow, you did that. In a diasporic context, whether it be in a poem, a scroll of butcher paper, or anything that will take the ink. Andi also practices ritual tattooing as a revival of thank you. Fijian tattoo tradition. Andi can be found at Dron Moli on Instagram, email, and then we'll get the email posted on their website. And they have a book with them. They also teach workshops or dialogue facilitations. Please make a lot of noise and bring up our feature, Andi Tora.
How y'all doing? So blessed to be here with y'all in this last Friday of this month. Did y'all know that we just started a new 13,000 galactic year span? Yeah, man, we just ended this 13-year cycle, and now we're gonna enter into a 13,000-year cycle. It's a whole new world. So happy New Year, everybody! If you didn't know. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna read some poems. I don't know, I might say some things in between. Talk about my process a little bit. Yeah, cool. O New Jerusalem, 13th tribe, cometh redemption, cometh our grace. Soothsayer Pharisee want to exchange currency at the temple gates of me, but I say no. You see, my heart green from living abundantly. Begone the temptation of lustful things. I am a poet of and from beyond. The holiest of me is of we, each a mouthpiece for true love and bliss, and so it is, Ashe. All right. Just open it up. Yeah. Haven't been on stage in a minute, so I look hella nervous. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about my book. It's called 13 Lotu. So it's a book of prayers that I wrote across the span of 2016 to 2019, and they have helped me to alchemize my healing and to become the person that I am today. Yeah, so there's 13 of them, and Lotu in my culture, in Fijian culture, means prayer, and our practice of prayer is through breath and sending it to parts of your body to heal, and then exhaling it out. And so this is kind of my practice of poems, is to write it out, sending it to that part that was traumatized or needs a bit of healing, even from 7 generations back, and bringing it forward 7 generations with my breath. So yeah, here's a love poem. Massage the message of love into your own skin, and in the ethers it will dance with mine. I say I miss you, but I know our spirits visit when our bodies can't. You are a part of my synchronicity, just as these numbers are. You are God's most favorite mouthpiece, an open air shrine to yourself. I write of you and the page becomes scripture. Solomon's Psalms to Makeda, in which he answers all of her questions. I submit in my palms, turn river for you to drink from. If I could transmute tectonic and build a mountain range, I would kneel deeper and pray harder just to sing your praises at the top. Word. Oh. So I'm short poem royalty. Y'all got out here in these streets. I think I heard, like, I was at the Mercury Cafe when I was like 16, and I first started slamming. I started slamming when I was 13, but like when I first seriously started slamming, they were like, it has to be 3 minutes, and I was like, this is 1 minute. But still got them scores though. Whatever. Okay. Sunset and the moon rose. Shower at night like ritual. Hands cleanest in salt water. Exfoliate to let go. Exfoliate to let go. Exfoliate and sing to your new skin. Time got us thinking we age. Born with all our kin, I rose from the smoke like sage. Make submission habitual. Cry to my heart, say stop. Conjure healing, plant a new crop, real G's. Water soil and feel the earth base drop. I open doors within myself, I'm tectonic. Stack scrolls on ocean self, I'm not stopping. Atlantis didn't crumble. Electromagnetic oscillation, cosmic wave magic. 1357, a congregation of homies who speak it and run it and flip it back to the break, back to the beginning when ocean split. Moses walked Sinai to his God. Sunset and the moon rose. Asked the people if they ready, said no. We walk on water with Christ's love to grow. Calm the storm in my belly. Asked the kin if they ready. Said set your altar steady. Bend knee, forehead, ground for me. Pray to the meat in you. I see wheat in you, 3 in you. I don't rap, I write prose. I don't pray, I commune though. Sunset and the moon rose. Yeah. Some bars. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna switch. I wrote this today. Damn, y'all. It's been a whole month. It's been a whole year. It's been a whole summer of this like undercurrent healing. It's like, where's your deepest wound? Are you gonna heal it? Are you gonna look at it? Next lifetime or now? Yeah. Okay. That's like how high the stakes are right now. I'm like, damn. Anyways, so this is what I wrote today in that thread of like deep unearthing. Death to the drowning of lovers. Death to the body. The cells that repeat the time loop. Time, mind, body is righteousness. Divine light, I ask you to envelop my manifestations, and I offer my being to God. Surrender and wash clean the sins of my own iniquity. Lean not unto my own understanding, but the consciousness of the divine mother. You made her a ghost. Oh, the horror. To be exalted in spirit and haunted by closed ears, Cypher. Thank you for your fifth element, the mirrored dove within us. The divinity we kill over must be awakened if we want to live in this new paradigm. Death to the story, death to the blood memory that we are forsaken. We are chosen. So, give y'all a little bit more bars, more post-apocalyptic bars. All right. So I wrote this in New Orleans, and it was right when the Notre Dame fire happened. Fuck that shit. Stand with all the protectors, okay. But anyways, yeah, it was just like a really big moment for the world. I was like, death to all these false gods, y'all. That's wild. Okay, so all right. Let me get this beat. Can y'all go like this? Yep. Cool. Keep it. Fist seal open, horsemen round up, Abrahamic lexicon. I must admit the cipher drip, I miss her when she's gone. Wisdom here to watch the churches burn, unholy God. You paint the heavens wrong, paint the heavens wrong. Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke? You don't want smoke, baby. You don't even pray, baby. You turn the salt for the rich as I become God. Celestial hotline bling to Rakawa. I bring the time back, bring the time back. Now let's ulengo my Nangaona. I am reborn when the sun rise, high tide, horizon chilling with the gods. It's been time. I let you in on my God ear. It's my 1000th year and I'm just getting started. Avalon parted like Miriam's faith in the 13th crossing. I am the first and the last. Who rolling? Who wants smoke? Who want smoke? You don't want smoke, baby. You don't even pray, baby. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Cool. Yay. I've only performed that like one other time in front of people. That's really exciting. Okay. I'm gonna go back to my book now. It's getting hot. Let's see. Yes. I be on my own percussion and all of that, man. If you're not walking around to some beats in your head, you should do that. Make your own beats. Okay. A cipher is a queer congress. Gather your house mothers. The marble will crumble beneath our rhythm. We will dance a rebirth. Soil knows to feed the hands that tend it. Sky knows how to bend to those who bend back to it. Me and the sun, we bounce. East, west, just like that, and you do too. Just this morning, raise smoke and prayer to lay to rest our dead and rise again. Lord, why do we gather if not for the collective breath, the exalt in communion? Short poems, y'all, short poems. Them poignant. Y'all having fun? Y'all having fun? Yes. Okay, I lost this poem. No, I didn't. It's right over here. Okay. Oh, yes. I'm getting so excited. Okay. So I went to Palestine a few years ago and walked like the path of Abraham, which is believed to be the father of the three big major religions of Islam and Judaism and Christianity. But I got to walk the path that he walked in his time as a prophet. Yeah, it was a really, really beautiful time. So I'm going to tell y'all about that a little bit. I walk Abraham's path in my mind's eye. Holy land carries seeds of prophets flow from Solomon's pool down the countryside. You know that aqueduct carried water to 1965, but you want to claim Israelite. Claim 12 tribes. You Herodite. I see of Galilee feed the family. You still got that poverty mentality. Yeast rise, the manna fell. You gotta see what my hands do when they magnetize. What my heart do when the heat rise. Through my crown, from my root. I'll be back real soon. I promised you. I wonder how Judah felt when his people turned. 40 years wandering wilderness. Did he Jericho break down the wall to an empty room? The children of Israel scattered and broke a new dawn. Where were you? Running from who? We broke back for them pyramid son. 13th tribe, children of Miriam. I want to run back to where the saffron blossoms. Spins a sea of brilliant coral unbleached where sunflowers guide children up. Oh, how I dream to hear the minaret sing in Akhraba the first time I rose before the Adon moon. Hadn't yet said goodbye to sun I prayed that morning too. Light cascade across a kitchen table, a holy place. Boiled eggs and tabbouleh, no English run, just shukran jadilan al-Philistine. Yeah, man. Yes. Whew. I don't know if y'all be walking around the city or walking around wherever you live and stay and things like that, but I highly suggest it, especially if you're a dreamer, to take in the scapes around you if you're able, by walking, by rolling, by bus, by whatever, to really take in what we are working together as a collective to heal from. You can see it, it's everywhere, it's on every corner. And to really take that in and to realize that we are reflected all around and none of us are free until all of us are free. I think I got some more. This is wild. Oh yeah. So we were talking earlier about, this actually came out because we were talking about it, but we were talking earlier about language and our duty to reviving our language and to keeping it alive. And I completely believe in that. In my narrative, I was taught Fijian at a very young age, and then for self-preservation, stopped speaking. And so this is kind of like me unpacking that right there. So. Everything that has been kept from me is for my own protection. It is an act of preservation to listen. It is an act of preservation to listen. I am on the right path. Everything that I must do, everything I am meant for, is coming in its own time. My life has been orchestrated to survive. My life has been orchestrated to preserve the line until it is time. There are Wu that will protect, Wu that will clear the way, and Wu that will take the sacrifice. It is my job to figure out how to properly honor and pay toll and sacrifice to the spirit of my country. I must be fortified in my faith. My ego keeps me from stepping fully in my power. It does not do any use but waste power to shrink and not be anything but a supreme being. What I was brought here to do. I love the self that knew my mother tongue would not be safe. I forgive the self that knew the power of its invocation in this body, even if it is such that it will take this lifetime to get it back. I release all guilt from a younger self that chose self-preservation. I honor the knowing before I knew. I honor everything I have yet to know. I embrace not knowing anything. I know nothing. I know cipher. And is that not enough? Is the faith of divinity the confirmation of that internal reflection? Is the prayer of a scream heard? Who receives my anguish? I am allowed to pass the cup back to God. God will receive all that was not mine to hold on to. Let my prayer be the oil-lined glass straw from which anguish and self-inflicted guilt comes upon me. Yeah, man. So I was raised in the Mormon church, and with a completely different background of faith, and so my last few years of my life has been reclaiming God consciousness and reclaiming my own divinity through my indigenous roots. And so I don't believe in no white Jesus or no nothing like that, but I do believe that we are all reflected in divinity and that we all have been cut away as colonized people from that access and from that line. And it is our job here to reclaim that for the 7 generations forward, to be aware of how godly we all are. Yes, clap it up for how godly we all are. Walking around glowing, walking around living, not just surviving, but thriving. Okay, fuck that noise. If you surviving, I want to see you thriving. Whew. Whew, man. Out here. Okay. I'm gonna do like 3 more. Okay, cool. Access granted no longer. I come to the table to slaughter no moral code, but to the Father, Son, Moon, and the cipher. I carry love with me. I know this, my bounty. It buzzes, bumble, fumble over soft eyes and clean hearts. Speak frequently in 3 parts. Harmony of the land and the people makes the mana untucked from the hills. They speak through my blood. What do you bring to the high chief? Nambure Klo. When I dip, say chulo. 1357 all around me. South Pacific Sea, that's my family. My heart beat to the lolly. Mangrove glorified in me. Na lesulenga mai nangauna. I rally the people like Roundup. Make way through the desert till dawn come. Till we see the ocean meet the horizon. What you gonna do when I'm a day ahead? Magnetic hand stacking all this bread like manna from heaven. I am sent. Make way for the new Jerusalem. I echo the percussion of the tides. Nandroa, that's my ride. You, Icarus. Me, Nightfall. This how I become God. Navigate by the moon, but NASA would call that savagery. I'll turn your blood into geometry. I'm the Dambati. Map your skin with the same branch I made your teeth from. It could be that you from the tribe of Ephraim. Me and my kin hail from the land of the horizon. You know them pyramids, we built them. Sailed to our island kingdom with the blessings of Miriam. Yeah. Yeah. All right, we gonna do some affirmations. Yes. All right, so if you're feeling it, you can put your hand over your heart, whatever. Repeat after me, whatever. It's all good if you don't want to, but some pretty good ones. I release fear. I allow love. I release fear. I allow love. I release an unbalanced ego. I allow unity consciousness. Yup. I release all binaries. And become one with all that is. I listen to myself. And utilize confident discernment. Yeah, you felt that one, huh? Yeah. I release procrastination. And I say the least about my plans. I say that one again. I release procrastination. And I say the least about my plans. Whew. I manifest for myself and the greater good of my community. Let's do that one again. I manifest for myself and the greater good of my community. Okay, we got a few more. Yeah. I act according to the principle of Sankofa, in which every breath I take is a gift from my ancestors. I create freely and without fear of criticism. I create freely and without fear of criticism. I allow my body to become true. I allow my body to become true. I prioritize my health. I prioritize my self-love. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I forgive myself. All right, y'all. Clap it up for you. Cool. All right, I got one more, and then we're gonna close it out. Do I? No, I'm gonna do this one. All right, y'all. So if you want to send me $5 or give me $5, I will send you the PDF of this book, okay? I will email it. Huh? Yes. Thank you, Bree. Yeah, so I'll send you the PDF, or you can pre-order it, and I will do a custom cover for you for $13, and it's on a different paper. If you're interested in doing any tattooing with me or what that looks like, you can follow me on Blood Math Ritual Tattoo. It's on Instagram. It's some serious shit, y'all. Ain't no regular stick and pokes, okay? We activating your light codes, so get with it. Anyways, or come talk to me after. I love hugs. Cannibalism is a dark alchemy, one that transmutes internal. Whether for famine or revenge, sacrifice the flesh of those who possess knowledge who, most often, were women. In turn, the bodies of gruesome men turn into ever-rotating time capsules of experience, ribcage stacked with those he conquered, memories of someone's beloved springing from his belly. How godlike it is to be human, to let another's blood become you in atonement. What more proper submission then, to pray to my body and let the gods meet me where my veins and arteries eclipse. I am a constant conjuring of an old wound in a new body. If intergenerational trauma is a hereditary passing of pain, then my healing must be a reverse cannibalism, must bleed and drink sacrament from every wound in this bloodline, sever from my throat the hymns of the god of fear, slice under my left shoulder blade and release what has not allowed me to receive, decapitate and roast my right arm over a spit and watch as the flames engulf a tightening fist. I break blood-brain barrier and sacrifice my mind to align with my heart. What has perpetuated through me to make me a victim of my own mistakes will die by this fire also. In funeral for the gods turn men in me, I prepare an animal to eat, of which the vital organs are spread before me, the oldest son, healing alongside my father. No sin unresolved in this bloodline. What you call epigenetic, we call a feast. I am the sacrificial daughter birthed from our deepest wound. All of what is not ours to carry into future dimensions of our blood, what has bruised and battered, will be the kerosene. Burn the crop, bury me in that scorched soil, so I may feed my progeny too. Thank you.